Autumn 1974, Black Christmas hit cinemas. The movie was a hit, and although not as recognised as the likes of Halloween, Friday the 13th, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was hugely influential, helping shape horror movies today. In this special festive episode of Beyond Graves and Stars, I'm joined by James Rowe from the King Street Cinema, Ipswich. James is a huge fan of the original, but avoided both the 2006 and 2019 remakes. I thought it'd be fun to watch the most recent and more critically panned version with James, and we compare that to the original movie. If you haven't seen the original 1974 version, I recommend you watch it now. As I say, the more recent remake was panned, but what we do try to find is positives, and I'd recommend watching both before listening to the podcast. There's a few spoilers, but we don't go too heavy on the spoilers, so that's just a bit of a warning. It's up to you guys.
Hello? Who are you? For God's sake, what are you doing?
I'm going to kill you.
Answer me!
We didn't get him.
It's me, Billy.
James, thank you for joining me.
Aye.
This is the first ever Christmas special of Beyond Graves and Stars, and you were the first ever guest.
Oh, really?
So it's all coming up quite well.
Yes.
And I know Black Christmas, the original 1974, one of your favourite. Would you say movies or horror movies or?
One favourite horror movies, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
Love
do you
it.
remember the first time you saw it?
Yeah, vaguely. I wasn't young. It was one that came up a little later on. I'm going to say maybe 20, I want to say, first time I saw it. Knew about it, knew it was kind of like considered one of the original slashers, as it were, influenced Halloween type deal. So I was like, yeah, cool. I actually get to see it now because it came out on DVD. And thought it was amazing. It was just like, this is great. This is clearly, well, for me, one of the best horror films of its type, if not the best of its type.
Yeah, and you think it's good for 4 years before Halloween?
Yeah, so it comes out in 1974. Yeah, Halloween is made kind of with Black Christmas in mind as like a some kind of like it's the next one, another holiday movie, is the sort of the idea. Yeah.
Do you know the story of the director and John Carpenter's like conversation and what allegedly happened?
No, not really.
It was on I've got the Blu-ray and I've had the DVD, but it's on one of the special features, and it's Bob Clark talking about how he basically was talking to John Carpenter about doing a sequel to Black Christmas and kind of setting it around Halloween.
Right.
And then later on Halloween came out.
Yeah, Carpenter went, I'll take that idea. So that's what I meant. That's what I thought was like, I just figured that John Carpenter saw Black Christmas and went, right, I want to do that. Yeah. Like, that was it. Like he goes, I see this movie, this is great, I got to do my version of this sort of thing.
Yeah. But, Halloween's gone on to be this iconic, and it turned into a franchise. Now, Black Christmas, it done okay when it first came out, I believe. It was on a 1.3 million budget and it made 4 million. So that's quite good for
1.3. I heard it was like not even a million. Like it was...
Oh no, sorry. It made 1.3 in Canada, and it was just over 500,000 budget.
Yeah.
So it did do well. It
did very well. I mean, by the standard of that day, you got to think, right? We're talking 50 years ago. that'd probably be equivalent of a budget of maybe a couple of million.
Yeah.
With box office, was it like 4 worldwide, I think,
Yeah,
from my
yeah. So
memory.
yeah, it made just
So
over a
that's
million in
probably something
Canada.
like 25,
Yeah,
30 million
yeah,
by today's standards kind
yeah.
of money. Yeah.
So now,
Did pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was one that when I was growing up and first getting into Hollywood was not really mentioned, but
No.
more recently has been.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that too. Like, it wasn't really. I think because I just get the feeling that it was not one that was so readily available, easy to get hold of, sort of thing. And there may be. I'm not quite sure. We could go into, like, some of the themes and the way it's. The film itself is, I think, quite. There's elements to it that are quite unusual, and I can see why they're perhaps not seen as being straight away classic, if you see what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
when you watch Halloween, everything about it seems to just work correctly for the type of film it is. It's I do like how we've talked about Halloween before, and about my kind of, as much as I like it and do appreciate it so much, there is something about how clinical it feels to me, that every beat it just flows almost too perfectly. Where a film like Black Christmas is a bit more raw, and there's weird characters and there's strange things going on, and there's police procedurals, and just there's lots of elements that make it kind of a bit more not necessarily clunky, but just not flow so effortlessly as Halloween does, which I could completely see people looking at and going, yeah, it's not great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not quite getting it, because there's too much going on. And
but to me, that makes it feel more real.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where you could get to that point where we go, wow, the characters feel really genuine.
Yeah.
Right? Like, really genuine. That was the first thing I really noticed about it watching it, was like, these girls in this sorority house, this is like actual real human beings. And there are so many films even later on that just didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Even good, still good quality horror movies, but just not feeling authentic, like real people, and where this did.
The conversations definitely feel real.
Yeah.
The language that they speak, not just... Yeah, I don't want to go into it, but they use strong language.
Yes.
It's a lot stronger language than used in Halloween.
Yeah.
Which to me feels more real, and it doesn't feel that that's a forced thing to maybe get it a higher certificate. It just feels natural.
They don't speak in that kind of way to shock.
Yeah.
Right? They speak it. I say, just, this is how people talk.
Yeah.
And the film knows that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that about it. It's great.
Yeah, and it's a weird one because you've got that side of it. But then there's a lot of comedy relief in the original, which helps it, because every time I watch this film, I just realise how dark it actually is.
Absolutely.
It's like the first time I saw it, and that would have been, how do I know? I reckon it was later than you saw it. I reckon I probably first saw it late 20s, maybe mid to late 20s. I can't really remember. I think before I bought the Blu-ray, I bought a cheap DVD of it.
Right.
To be honest, look, doing the time scale, it might have been around the time of the first remake, which we're not talking about now, but it was they remade it in 2006.
Yeah.
So probably sort of just, I imagine I'd seen the original before that,
Right.
but that might have sparked me to go and watch the original.
Right.
I think before the second one.
Yeah.
And look, what you said about the way it flows. Now, to me, I remember bits of it really stood out as being great, but on that first watch, I remember thinking, "Oh, what's going on here? Why is it felt a bit slow?"
Yeah.
But now when I watch, last Christmas I ended up watching it twice, because I watched it as a Christmas horror film, and then I was in London. It had a screening, so I got to see it on the big screen with an enthusiastic audience, which was great. And then I rewatched it last night, and I think the more you see it, the more, it's not that you don't pick up on things, but you're actually looking for them more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the whole way it's shot,
Yeah.
is really cool and really
very well
creepy.
done. Yeah.
It's like it goes from normal shots to almost POV
POVs,
shot.
yeah.
But it's like seamlessly.
Yeah, yeah.
So some films there'll be a cut and then it's the POV.
Sure.
In this, it isn't.
Yeah.
Not always.
Absolutely.
And going back to the comedy bits of it. Even the comedy relief. Like there's the lady with the drinking.
Yeah.
And
So you had that. The sorority house has a den mother, so it's like an old lady who's supposed to look after the girls and stuff like that, look after the house, and she's an alcoholic and has. I mean, and again, this is you could look at this and go, this isn't actually funny. But it works in the context of the film, where she's an alcoholic and she's hiding bottles of booze in very odd places, like in
but not
books or in behind in the toilets and stuff.
But not
like
in
that.
silly ways.
No,
and you'll know this. The same joke is done in Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like part of their mobile phones, and whereas in this, she hides it in like a book and in the toilet, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And that's real. You know, I've known
Sure.
alcoholics to have at least done the toilet thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it lightens it because she's a. You know, you don't laugh about alcoholism, but because she's this older lady
and
who's
she's a
supposed to look
likable
after.
she's a likable character. She's
Yeah.
not. She doesn't come across as a horrible drunk.
No,
she's not. She's
she's constantly happy in it.
Yes.
Yeah. When you know.
Yeah.
And I think that character in general, not just the alcohol side of it. There's little nods there. And you've got to think it's 51 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Things were looked upon differently then. You know, you'd often get in old 60s comedies the funny drunk.
Yes.
But her lighter tone is comedy relief. Her as a character in general.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's, she's not the only thing. There's the bungling cop.
Yes. So there's a Sergeant Nash who keeps making mistakes and doesn't understand what fellatio is and stuff like that. And the jokes are made, you know, on his behalf. But they're not. They're also not made in the context of. They are made in the context of the movie. So people recognize in his world that he's a bit stupid and doesn't understand things, and we have characters laughing at him. Yeah. So it's not just that, oh, isn't he funny? You know, we get that he's silly. He's silly in his world. Yeah, and that makes it real. That makes it more like it's an actual real character, real person.
Naive character, and you get that in real life. And it's more comedy from the teenage girls, because you've got we'll call her Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, who is hilarious. She plays
the character Barb, and is very, but again, sad. There is sadness to her character. She as well has a bit of a drinking problem, and we establish that she has a family, you know, troubles with her parents. Obviously, not very well connected with them. Was hoping to go to see them for Christmas, and they've just said no. We're doing something else. Yeah. So it's one of those kind of situations, which is sad.
Yeah. Right? And another one who reminds me of people I know or knew, especially at that age, and just her attitude, it stands out. You don't get characters like that in your typical slasher film.
No. Exactly.
That feel real.
Yeah.
You get the wisecracking one.
Yeah.
But with this is a developed character.
Yeah, exactly. She's good. She's a great actor. She's fantastic. And
I imagine that
most of the people in this are good actors, right?
But I feel with her that it wasn't too far away from what she was actually like.
Yeah.
I just get that impression.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and she definitely had attitude in a good way.
Yes. Certainly. Yeah.
And the lead, we haven't mentioned her yet.
Right, so
Juliet.
So Olivia Hussey, who is not necessarily everyone's favourite actor of all time. I mean, I rate her. I think she works very well in this film. There's a lot of interesting story stuff about at this time of her life and what she was up to, and she was clearly into some interesting things, as in her personal life, and believing in certain things. Like, she did this role. She took this job because a psychic told her that she was going to make a Canadian film that was going to make loads of money. So that was her reason for taking on this role, which is a bit I'd say a little eccentric.
Yeah.
And
there's obviously, it was the 60s, wasn't it? Which she done Romeo and Juliet. She was very young.
Yeah, she would I don't know, 16 maybe at the oldest. So.
Yeah, and there's lots of stories behind the scenes of that which we won't go into. But you're welcome to look up.
Yeah.
And I know her from mainly Romeo and Juliet, this movie, and she plays Norma Bates in one of the Psycho sequels.
She does. It's 4.
Yeah, so that's you know, but she's done a lot in her life. She only was it last year she passed away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was in It, the miniseries in that as well, as a minor part, but still she was in that. There's an Australian film that is crazy called Turkey Shoot, which just a very weird exploitation, gun-toting film, lots of violence. I think she ended up thinking that. I think she got on that role thinking it was going to be something completely different, and then it turned out to be a film where she's rolling around in the mud a lot and getting shot at, and it was quite scary, I think, for her.
Yeah, I've heard about that film. Might have been you talked
Yeah,
about
I've told about it before. So it's the same director as BMX Bandits,
Of course,
and made a lot of strange B movie, Australian B movies.
And she sort of fell into this role really of kind of a horror icon.
Yeah,
And but a lot of that may have come from the success of this film.
yeah.
You know?
I want to say as well. We're going to touch on many different things perhaps in this film. There's so much. There really is. Like I say, this is a big movie with lots going on. You could talk about this film for getting really into it for a really long time. Her character, to me, this was something I recognised straight away as well because it comes up very early on in the film. It's like, wow, this is a female character with true agency. She's got pregnant and she's decided she's not going to have the baby. That she's going to have an abortion because she wants to have a career and a future. This is 1974.
Yeah.
This is proper feminist stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Actual real feminist stuff, not just, crazy, men are crap, blah blah blah.
Which we'll get onto in a bit.
This is actually a person who's had a situation in her life, thought about where she is in her at the time of her life, and made a decision. An actual. Brilliant. And seriously, when I saw this in my early 20s, I was like, this is amazing. This is incredible because there's just even films today where they're not. Yeah.
And then there's
so happy
the scene when she tells
her
boyfriend that she's not having the baby, and his reaction is basically that pretty much, I can't think of the wording, but he pretty much says that's his decision, not her.
Yeah.
And in watching this in a busy screening last year, there was booing of him. Yeah. Which is so there should be. Hopefully there would have been back when it came out.
Yeah.
But I think back when it came out, a lot of men would have felt his words and actions were justified.
But I'm sure there still are today. Why, in fact, I know there are.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, there is a debate between the thing of where people should hopefully be being able to have a mature conversation about these kind of things as a couple. We could see there's fracturedness within the relationship. He's clearly eccentric. He comes across as a very eccentric character, very intense character. He was a musician, who also, I feel, though there's no touching upon this, any kind of religious overtones or undertones even in the film, or maybe there are some subtextually, but we get the feeling that he is a religious character, he's
very traditional.
Exactly.
There's a bit in it which it's supposed to be, well, I shouldn't make you laugh, but where they talk about when he gets in a bit of a rage and she basically said, when he does this, he goes off and he does it a lot.
That he has moments. Yeah.
And this is
and he smashes up his piano, and he had a recital earlier which he messed up because he just had the news.
Very angry man.
He's a very angry man,
and
emotionally unstable. You could say.
And we will do spoilers, and obviously throughout the film you're supposed to suspect him.
Yes, he is our red herring, where we would certainly, everything is kind of setting up that he is the killer. But he's not. And
he is played by a well-known actor.
Kia Dula, who is when you say well-known, I mean, I only know him otherwise from 2001: Space Odyssey, but he surely was in some other things that are well-known.
Last night I had a quick look, and he's been in other stuff that we would have seen.
And he's got an interesting face. He's completely right for this role. He's brilliant in it as this kind of, like I say, intense, quite almost, but not quite crazed character.
He was born in 1936. So how old would that have made him?
Into his 30s.
He's
35. 35 when it came out.
So he's
playing. I mean, so they're in university. So we could say early 20s is what he's playing. I guess 22, 23 maybe at the oldest. You get the feeling like he might even be post-grad, maybe. But he's not just started at university.
And he's got that young face.
He does.
So he's he done a lot, but most well known for 2001 and
Yeah.
then this. Was he in 2010 as
No,
well?
yes, he was in 2010. Yes,
Yeah, well,
the sequel.
I've only seen that the once
Yeah.
and remember nothing.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's got a strong cast.
yeah. I
And
mean,
I think they're all good, very good.
the character, I forget her name, Andrea something.
Andrea Martin.
Martin, of course. if you're a fan of comedy of the era, she was part of Second City. It was originally going to be Gilda Radner was going to do it originally, but then she got on to Saturday Night Live.
Because she was on SNL a year later.
Yeah,
1975.
so they were working on that, and so that she couldn't do the role.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's comedy, there's comedic, legends involved in this film. It's So I mean,
and I think it's got the balance.
And John Saxon, of course, will go on.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a sec. But yeah, I mean, it's not a comedy horror.
Not at all.
But you've got that balance of a bit of humour in it.
Yeah.
Which, going on to talk about John Saxon, I think you've got in Elm Street.
Yeah.
That sort of tone of
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Completely. I'm sure Wes Craven was a big fan of this film.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have taken a lot of influence from it.
And interestingly as well, John Saxon, he done a lot of low budget horror in Italy and America.
Yeah.
And I watched, I had it on the background, a panel from 2014 about this movie, and he's there.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems very enthusiastic about it, very appreciative of it. Whereas a lot of the movie he was in, I'm sure he wasn't.
Yeah. But probably doesn't remember too well.
No. But with this one, he appeared to, still bonding with the cast who were there with him. And because I know, from other interviews that with Elm Street, he just went in, done it, didn't think much of it, and then after the aftermath. But with this, I think because it had that script of which would have been, they'd have read this and been like, I haven't read anything like this. Mm-hmm. Whereas when he read a lot of his horrors he was in, he'd be like, yeah, I'll just do it. Yeah. So I think it may have been a role that he really appreciated.
I would have thought so. I mean, he's the backbone of the film. He's our hero in a way, in the sense that we as an outsider, we're looking at it from the perspective of we're looking from two perspectives. In fact, we're probably looking at it from the perspective of the killer. So when we have the POV, and we're also looking at it from the point of view of the police to a certain degree, because this is not just a horror film; it is a procedural, and we really do get that feeling of the police, not just a police presence, but also the background of what it is in an investigation like this. Because what we're going through here is not, lots of people are getting killed, everyone's running around trying to hide or whatever, or fight the evil. We're talking about a missing person. Yeah. This film is based around the fact that someone has been killed, but no one knows that.
Yeah.
Everyone just assumes that, a lot of people do assume the worst, that she is dead, but no one knows it for a fact. And it is taken on as if the police are in the process of trying to find this person. Yeah. So that's how we come at it as well. Even though we know the truth, that she's dead, we are watching it from their point of view of the police, which is great. For me, I love that.
That's what makes it scarier than something like Halloween. You don't know who it is. It could be anyone. And it's got that mystery element other than just a horror.
Absolutely.
I did turn my phone down, by the way, have you heard that? Just not the alerts. So, yeah, there's so much going on, and it's kind of tense all the way through.
Yes.
And eerie, the way it's shot, even that it's got like the piano score.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, they at the time, we're basically the score is, in a way, a lot of it is just the things being thrown at the piano strings.
Yeah.
And it's making this boom kind of sound. And today, and even not a few decades later, or even a decade later, in the 80s, they probably would have had ways of making that sound without having to resort to damaging a piano.
Yeah.
But at the time they didn't. They were really wanting this kind of really odd, unusual kind of sound to represent the tone of the film. Yeah. And that's how they created that was throwing stuff at piano strings.
And also the Christmas setting. It's cold. You can see it's cold. You've got that sort of.
We're in Canada.
Yeah. And the Christmas music, right? Because it's 1974 for a start. There's a lot of Christmas carols in it. You hear that sort of thing. It's more, traditional and quaint. There's no Christmas pop songs,
No.
or not even like rock and roll Christmas songs.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
No.
It's all carols and old
Yeah.
tradition, which I for some reason makes me think it makes me feel it's a bit eerier than if
Yeah.
there was Jingle Bell Rock or something like that in it.
Absolutely.
But there isn't. There's carols.
Yeah, you feel. I think the feeling is because of the coldness. We're in a cold place. It feels very cold. It clearly was. Everyone looks freezing
Yeah.
all the time. There's a lot of drinking going on as well,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure there probably was on set. A lot of people drinking to stay warm.
Yeah.
And you do get this feeling of that you're in a very isolated place, and there is certainly something very eerie in general just about that. I mean, look, the building. I think where the sorority house is scary looking. This old kind of big, lots of massive rooms that everything feels kind of cold, not cold, but also isolated and removed. Without it being like old castle, not that kind of thing, not gothic, but gothic in a more modern sense. And it's a scary feeling throughout the whole film, I think, and one that even though we know that we don't know the killer, we don't know the killer's motive, but we do know there is one when everyone else doesn't know that there is one, and that there is something about that is just scary. And of course the scary moments, the actual moments where we are meant to feel scared or creeped out especially are creepy as hell. I mean, truly some of the most, for me anyway, some of the most feeling of go running through my whole body.
I mean, what do you think of the Billy?
Yes.
The killer. And we get his name Billy from what he says in the phone conversation. What do you think of the actual prank? Well, I say prank, the phone calls,
I thought it was
and
amazing.
The voices and stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Going back to how when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, this is genius! This is actually genius!" And there were things that were being said in it that I was like, "Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for not feeling that you have to hold back."
Yeah.
It's not vulgarity to the point of absurdity, and to where it's going to be where it'd be funny because it's so over the top. It rides that line beautifully of being horrible enough that it's like but not so much that it's just silly, and it's perfect. I was like, oh god, they've got a genius, absolute genius. Love it.
I mean, I won't say the word used, but there's one of the earlier phone calls in it. I think it's doing the sort of voice, the weird voice, saying obscenities, and then just the voice tone changes to serious. I'm going to kill you.
I'm going to kill you, and then cuts off.
That's creepy as hell.
Yeah. It's just it's brilliant. It's just done so well. They spent a long time developing the voice, and the things that were said. There was never, apparently anyway, there was never a script, as it were, of understanding of why he's saying things he's saying, and making up a story. But we never find out why, who the person is and why they're saying this, context of why they're saying the things that they are saying, and they weren't any developed. So there's that in itself, which is interesting, that they just worked. They were making stuff up as they were going along to try and just make it just be really freaky, right, and weird, and they did.
And I like that because let's face it, the unknown is scary.
Yeah.
And I think from what I remember about the 2006 remake, what ruined it for me was there's all this backstory and where Billy came from. We're still not even 100% Billy is his name.
No.
That's just a name he says.
So a lot of the voice of the person is doing has several personalities. So there's different things being said by different voices. You can clearly make out that there's a lot of different people speaking, even though it is only one person. So it's almost like they're having a conversation with lots of different people at once. I get I mean, I've seen it so many times. I've thought a lot about it because of how much it means to me in a horror context. It feels like a family. It's a family conversation of a traumatic experience, something horrible that happened.
It's him talking. He's reenacting his
reenacting.
past.
Yeah, that's that kind of.
Which is what it kind of develops in the 2006.
Right, yeah, which I haven't seen, by the way.
I was tempted to talk about all three, but I thought let's do the first one and the more recent 2019 reboot, because that one
is completely different.
Yeah, and it's clearly influenced by it, but yeah, and that's, I think, a more interesting conversation will come out of that, hopefully. But I do want to. We've spoken about this for about half an hour now, and obviously we're both big fans. But for me, what icing on the cake for this great horror movie is that ending.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most chilling endings to horror ever. I'd say.
Brilliant, just perfect.
And we're doing spoilers, but that's something that, if I'm honest, I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, I would love people who haven't seen this film to see it.
Yeah.
You know, even if we have given a fair amount of away without enough. And even early on, like the first death and stuff, and how that leads into, the plot properly starting, and then the thread that is throughout the whole entire film, which never gets truly concluded. Just wonderful.
So go and watch it ASAP.
For Christmas, I would say.
Yeah, that's what this episode will come out before Christmas.
Well, absolutely.
Watch this Christmas Eve, especially if you're on your own.
Yes,
that's what I would say. But yeah, so this is it's up there with the greats. And is there a better Christmas horror?
No, it is the Christmas horror.
The film. Christmas horror. Okay, so that was in 1974. It's available on. You can probably rent it from streaming services, and there is a Blu-ray. I've got a copy from 101 Films from quite a while ago now, but I think it's had another reissue since.
Right.
So my copy's about 10 years old, I reckon. So that you can find it. So we're gonna play you the trailer now for the 2019 reboot, and then we'll be back to talk about that, and we'll do a bit of a comparison.
Yeah.
It's my privilege to teach you this semester. Enjoy your winter breaks and Merry Christmas.
What's up, ladies? Excited for tonight?
It is our last day of our last fall semester of college ever.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bells ring and jingle bells ring.
Can you take a photo of all of us?
Of course.
Where's Helena?
Now the
She was tying back sodas earlier, but she looked really good.
jingle bells rock
We shouldn't have let her go back by herself. She's fine. Come on, I'm little.
across the air.
Helena hasn't gotten home yet. If I were missing, I'd want you to unleash the bloodhounds and track me down. She was at DKO last night.
Still creating problems, all right?
Hello? Hello?
I'm worried that something bad happened.
It's winter break. Could just be a delay of some sort. Snow.
My friend is missing.
9 times out of 10, the girl's just with a boyfriend.
I will bring you to your knees. There's someone in the house. What the? This can't be real.
This school has 200 years of history. Many sacrifices have been made to keep our traditions alive.
You're all insane. I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of running. Ho, 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 bitch. You messed with the wrong sisters.
2019 Black Christmas. Now it says on the front, I've got a German copy of this. I had to get a German Blu-ray. It says, I'm guessing from the producers of Get Out and Halloween. That'll be the more recent Halloween.
Yeah.
And this is a Blumhouse picture, which is it Jason Blumhouse?
Yeah.
Who renowned for making low-budget, profitable horrors over the last, probably...
Long time now.
Yeah, 15, 20 years.
Got to be something 20 plus, I'd say.
And I you know, a lot of people criticise these movies. I think for what they are, they're usually pretty fine. They're watchable popcorn horrors.
Yes.
Is how I
They
describe.
always do well at the cinema.
Mostly, yeah. There's
Yeah.
been a few that are not quite so well recently, but they've been churning more out.
Right.
So that's probably why. Now this one made money again. It done well at the cinema, but as I said at the start, I had to get a German Blu-ray of it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's on streaming and stuff. And it's I just remember it being quite a big film when it came out. But do you remember much about this being released? I mean, this is
Didn't even know it. I really didn't. I can't. When you said that there was a newer one than the 2006 one, I was surprised.
Really? Okay, yeah. So I've just looked it up, and if you do want to track it down, it's not on a streaming service. There is a DVD available online, but imported, so it's kind of vanished.
It's never got a release over here, like a home release. By the sounds
No,
of
I think it
in
did.
the UK.
I think it did get a DVD release.
Right. But it's out of print.
It's out of print, yeah. And sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
And the director now, Sophie Takao, did we say Takao?
Something like that. It's got to be right.
Yeah. So she came from independent films, critically acclaimed independent features. All the Light in the Sky was the one what done well.
Okay.
And then was an actor before in quite a bit of stuff. And that sort of, I think this often happens with directors. They have a low budget and they're given something big to do, and it kind of fails.
Right.
Well, this critically, it looking at the modern reviews of it, it's like on Letterboxd, it's got 1.8 out of 5, which is pretty bad. Not hideous. I've seen a lot worse, and I've enjoyed films with a lot,
Yeah.
But financially, I think it done quite well.
Yeah, I read 18 million.
18 million from a 4 million budget, I think.
Yeah.
Which is good for
Yeah, absolutely.
And 15 certificate over here, PG-13 in America.
Yeah, definitely a PG-13 film.
Yeah, and to me, watching it again, 5 million to 18.5 million. It looks like it's been cut to be that.
Yes.
A lot of the violent bits are cut off quite sharpish.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun.
And
for that, I think that it suffers because of that.
Yes.
I feel that, especially with a modern audience, they're expecting more gore. In 1974, for the original, it's not that gory, but it's dark, it's intense, and I think it would have probably been on banned lists if it had got any more.
I mean, there's aftermath of the violence. You see a lot of like dead bodies and there's blood and stuff there, but there isn't lots of like horror, people getting hurt.
Yeah, so
in the moment, sort of thing.
Which one of the reasons Texas Chainsaw Massacre was banned was not just because it was intense, but because it was that threat to women.
Yes,
which obviously it is in
this as well. Yeah, Black Christmas and both Black Christmases.
Yeah, so it's now 2019, and we're at a university or college, as it's called in America. Again, another group of women.
Yes.
And this
sorority house,
yes. We don't get them here.
I don't think so.
No, I don't know. I've never been. And the same kind of thing is happening. It starts off with a murder, an interesting one where in the snow to look like angel wings. Kind of.
I quite like that little touch. I don't know. I didn't know if there was any reason for it contextually within the story, but I like the look of it.
It was done quite well. And then the group of women later find out that their friend never got home. That's where she was going.
Yes.
And they're getting text messages this time instead of phone calls. Moderned it up. And from the name is the guy Hawthorne.
Yes.
Who there's been a bust at the university removed.
Yeah.
Because of the context of.
Yeah, the history of Hawthorne, who I'm guessing was the person who started the university, owned slaves and other horrible things. Get backstory of just being a not so nice gentleman, shall we say?
Yeah.
And there being certain people have decided that they would like to do a petition to get rid of the bust, or not get rid of it fully, but just have it removed from being outside so everyone could see it. So it's now put away in a room somewhere,
Yeah.
And obviously there are certain people who are not happy about this.
Yeah.
Shall we say?
Including basically all the men.
All the men. Well, we get the idea. Well, barring one or two, we have two men that are sort of like not into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the majority, it seems. Yeah.
And Professor Gleason, played by Carrie, is it Elves?
Yeah. Elves? I don't know how you say
the
it.
guy from Saw, Princess Bride, Men in Tights, Hot Shots.
Yeah. Guy American who always has a posh accent.
Yeah. I assume he's always trying to be British, but maybe not, just posh.
I think he's just trying being posh.
Okay. That's because of Men in Tights, that line. Other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent. I just take it as But the lead is English, I believe.
Yes, Imogen Poots.
Yeah, he plays Riley.
Yeah. Is our heroine.
Yeah, who?
I guess we could say.
And it's revealed slowly throughout the first act that I'm going to use words to not get flagged down, but she's been assaulted by a gentleman.
S.A.
Yeah, yes.
Is that what they say?
Yeah. And he's disappeared, but coming back for Christmas to the university by the looks of it.
Yeah, I get the impression that he's is he from somewhere, like from some other university, but I don't know how it works, and as far as sororities go and all of that stuff, but sure, an American audience would understand.
And at a kind of Christmas show or party, the ladies perform a song and basically expose and have a go at this
the culture. I think more the culture of essay happening on campus, and how they know that what that happened to them did happen to them, and this whole thing of trying to these guys getting away with it has got to stop kind of attitude.
So as you can tell, it's very different to the original, but with some of the elements. To me, this is inspired by but to its favour, I like that. I like that it's got little nods to the original, but it's not a rehash.
Sure,
but maybe for many it's too different. But it is one that if it had a different name or something, it would be accused of being a rip-off of it in certain respects.
Maybe.
So but maybe if it had a subtitle, Black Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, Legacy.
The
next generation. Yeah. But it's something. But anyway, for that, and then I might be going against type there, against what other people are saying. But I like that. I like that it's trying to pay homage to the original without recreating it.
Oh, sure. Well, absolutely. I mean, it's not in any way the original film. The story, the plot, everything ultimately is different. The only thing that is the same is the set. We are set in the same location. Different part of the world, but the same as in a school.
Yeah,
a school with sororities and all that kind of stuff.
And the whole stalked via technology. So it's phones. This is mobile.
I would say, I mean, there's no police procedural element to this.
There's a security guard.
There's a security guard who exists very shortly within the film. There's none of that. There's none of that sort of attempt at realism, at like what would happen in this situation. Authorities being involved.
But you mentioned for the first one you've got the feminist aspect.
Yes.
In this they've turned that to 11.
So I mean, okay. So in the first film, there is a clear, a wonderfully written feminist plot device in the film. Wonderful. And Bob Clark and the writer, I can't remember the writer's name, Roy something, of the original film. That was not their intention, right? For it to be seen as they just wrote a story. And I don't want to sound like some awful person who doesn't care. Because I would like to think that if people were listening earlier, that I clearly love the fact that element is there in the original film. It's beautiful, it works, it makes complete sense, and it's true and honest. That's all I ever want from any story, right? I want beautiful stories told with important things that exist in reality, told in stories. I don't want to be beaten over the head with things, right? And that's the difference. And I think that's what most people truly want as well. Is want well told stories, right? Yeah. That's what they want.
So you feel this one is too forced?
Well, completely.
Yeah. It's I mean I'm not saying I don't agree, but I feel that this was made for the feminist audience, a very 2019 female audience, and I imagine a lot of people would have been. The intention was for them to be cheering in the cinema at certain things in this film.
Sure.
And I believe, I imagine, I don't know, I haven't looked up, but the director was probably influenced by the original with certain things, but then, as I said before, turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
So they've taken that element and really, 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 really developed it.
Yeah.
For a massive change. You could say the whole final act of this film is completely different to the original.
Sure.
It goes supernatural.
Yep.
And
turns into action.
There's killers with bows and arrows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elements in this film I do like, but it just feels weird that it's a Black Christmas film.
Yeah, I mean, I like you say, it's not the original film. It's not trying to be the original film, and that's great. I mean, that's good, right? Yeah. I don't mind a movie necessarily that's that has the name of something that came before, doing a completely different thing. That's as far as I'm concerned, that's absolutely fine. I'd rather that than a rehash. Let's just do make it pretty much the same, but it 2019 with the way people would now talk.
Yeah, and that's why I'll be honest. I'll have to go back one day, but I couldn't get through the remake of Carrie from about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I just thought, what's the point?
Yeah.
Whereas with this, there's elements of it. I thought cheesy was a word that come to mind.
Yeah, it's very cheesy.
But at no point did I consider when I originally saw it walking out the cinema or turning it off today.
Yeah. You can sit through this one.
Yeah.
It's not like an awful film. It's just not very interesting as far as I'm concerned. I just was like, okay, it's kind of like your bog standard. For me, as a 43-year-old who's watched a hell of a lot of horror films, when new horror films come along and they're like this, I just think, for me, I just don't see. I just go, okay, fine. They're not for me.
We're not the audience for this film.
Yeah.
But saying all that, for me, it was obviously there's serious themes in it.
Yeah, which very serious.
Which need to be put into film, I think, and need to be told.
Agreed.
But there's also that element of it's a popcorn horror. So that mismatch of the serious undertones and then silly action going on.
Yeah.
It's half this message about feminism and the way men are.
Yeah.
Then half a fun.
Yeah.
But silly movie.
Agreed. But I just because, like I say, I like and want from films well-told, crafted stories.
Yeah.
This isn't that.
No.
This is not told very well. So they've got themes that are really important, crucial things that people should be talking about and are being seen in films, and just not well written and not well told. And for me, just that because of that, feel that they don't really mean it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't feel honest to me.
It might be my age, but some of the dialogue didn't seem real.
No, not at all.
But do younger people talk like that? No, I mean
not in my experience, and I work with younger people. I don't see.
It's almost like they're talking how they want to talk, opposed to how they do talk.
Yeah,
which is
bad writing.
100 miles away from the original one.
Yeah, it's bad writing, and it's a real shame because horror films or any films don't have to be that way. If you're making something that is a piece of a fantasy, right, which is what generally horrors are.
Yeah.
They don't have to. That just because they are that doesn't mean that they have to be written with characters saying things that are unbelievable. You can still ground it in reality Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? Where did that go? Why is that gone? Yeah. Anyway.
But there was a cat in it.
There was a cat in it. That was nice.
A reference to the cat in the
Yeah,
original.
this one's called Claudette, and the original one's called Claude.
Which says a lot when
Yeah.
you think about it.
Exactly.
Yes, subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I agree. The dialogue isn't good and it's not that well written.
Yeah.
I do think it's a better film than it's being portrayed, as in it got
Right.
aftermath of the hit.
Right.
Absolutely slated and criticised. And I can see.
Oh yeah, I'm not. It's not like that. I see much worse. It's just sort of kind of film. Yeah, there's not anything really strong enough in the film to hate it. I don't think, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't see that. So yeah,
but I can't also see it being anyone's favourite film.
No.
And it's not one that many people would be like, it's Christmas, good, I get to watch this again.
Indeed.
You know, I will watch it again. I'm very interested now, and I noticed the Blu-ray because I kept it. I bought it in the summer, and it's been 6 years since I saw it when it came out, and I don't remember much, which is a bad sign anyway when you don't remember much from a film in the cinema. And I thought, well, I'll save it and do an episode on this. And I noticed there's a commentary on it by the director.
Oh.
And I'm quite interested to hear her thoughts, and where hopefully it will be a commentary where she talks about why she done things and what the changes to the original, opposed to some commentaries are just the technical side of it.
Yeah.
Which,
we did this, we did that.
Yeah, which, you know...
shot that there.
I watched a commentary recently by another film I liked, but got slated for many of the reasons that this one's got slated. It's not a remake, but for the feminist side of it, of The Marvels, which I thought was an alright film, fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
But the commentary, and I get the impression the director, who done the Candyman, which we spoke about.
Yeah, we had
I get the impression she was almost probably contracted to do commentary and didn't want to talk about these things, and it's just a technical one. It was quite boring.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this doesn't, so hopefully this won't be like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because this is why I like retrospect releases, when they're not actually promoting it anymore. It's for the fans and they can be honest.
Yeah.
And this is what I want from when you
listen to a commentary.
Yeah, and when I research a film, I'm just interested in where they're coming from.
Sure.
And I'm interested in their reaction to, because I mean they must have been disappointed with not the commercial side of it, but the backlash after this film. But did they push the agenda too far? I mean, I think we both agree they did.
It's fun. No. I'm trying to word this correctly, because sometimes I feel like I come and I say things that people misunderstand.
Yeah.
I don't think that you could do everything that exists in this film, tell the story in the way that they want to tell it, that exists within this film, but with just better writing, right? That you could still have all the themes, because like when you say too much, I don't believe that you can truly tell a story too much. It's just the way you do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because of the way it's written. All you see is the agenda it's trying to push.
Yes,
and
that's the problem.
The themes in this film, I agree with. Yeah. I think that men like this should be exposed, absolutely, and that hence stories like this should be told.
Yes,
but just better.
Yeah. In ways that truly feel like people have considered what they're writing about. Like they really want to tell an interesting. That you want to tell an interesting story. That you want it to develop. That you want to make people, the audience, feel that these are real characters and they've really gone through some trauma. Not just that. Oh, we know this happens in real life. You all know it happens in real life. Isn't it awful? Isn't it awful that it happens in real life? It's like, yeah, we know. Now but we're here for a story. We're here for drama. If you're going if you want to tell these stories, even in a horror film, which is completely possible to be, for you to do and to do well, then you have to have the drama. You have to have the realism in it. Yeah. For it to be, otherwise it's just not pointless. I
truly believe that there's some really good ideas in this film and some good elements, but they're not quite executed well enough.
They're not.
and the whole supernatural thing's almost glossed over. And they then also when it is revealed, something supernatural. Let's say, really want you all to watch the original, but why not watch this one as well?
Sure.
But when there is this supernatural reveal, no one seems that like wowed by it.
No.
Which you would be,
Of course.
And my main criticism of it, if I'm honest, is it's 2019 and we want, it says from the producers of Halloween. I mean, the remakes of Halloween done really well. Well, the first one anyway, the more recent ones there, and that's one of the things they done with that to make it different was they made it as gory as possible.
Right.
Which maybe I'm not saying this should have been proper gory, but you should have seen a bit more of the deaths for the thrills in the cinema for the teenage audience.
Sure.
Because a lot of younger men who could learn something from this story, possibly, would go to see a horror film for gore.
Yeah.
And it's not there, is it?
No. I mean, you don't feel like anything's actually happening, like to anybody, if you see what I mean. Like you don't feel like this is something that is going on. It's almost like
there's a bit where Riley says, well, all the stuff what's happened and why she feels at threat, and I'm like, oh yeah, all that stuff has happened, but it doesn't feel dramatic that it's happened.
That's what I mean.
It just happened. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You don't feel any of the realness that you need to feel if you want people to believe in your story.
Yeah,
it's just not there. So we're just sitting there going, right, so that's that, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
and we'll just move on then. We'll just move on. Like, did it finish? Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, just nothing. There's no connection, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to, I don't want to spoil the end of the original Black Christmas, but I've seen that film so many times. I watched it again 3 days ago, and it scared me so much that I couldn't walk around my house in the dark.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about the film. Right, I was completely still after all these years engrossed in it and feeling the film.
Yeah, the first one.
That's what you've got to do, people.
The first one really gets under people's skins.
Yeah,
is what it does. Whereas this one doesn't and
couldn't.
And it's
sadly.
It's not a spoiler, but everything's resolved in this one.
Yes.
Whereas in the original, it isn't, and it ends by being scary.
Very, very scary.
Yeah, so and that's where the original succeeds. And with all this, from what I'm saying, I still didn't hate this. I just thought it could have been more.
Certainly.
And especially with the themes it was bringing in, it could have been more. Now, I'm quickly trying to look to see whether the director's directed anything since. But being an actor... oh yeah, here we go. TV, done stuff like so I think it probably really affected the career.
You said you felt like this was a TV thing.
I thought the way it looked,
kind
of looked a bit hallmarky.
Yeah,
but it was like the brightness of it and the way, and I didn't know whether that was a transfer of the Blu-ray.
Yeah, maybe.
But to me, the way it looked made it look kind of cheap.
Yeah.
But it's early on, especially. But yeah, she'd done a direct. She might have gone back to acting. Don't get me wrong. But episodes of something called One of Us is Lying, Gossip Girl, which is big, isn't it? And then The Summer, which is another TV thing.
Right.
And I think this was supposed to be a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Yeah. And
but it made money.
It did. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but sometimes as well things. It did make money. But how much did they expect?
Yeah, they probably expected 3 or 4 times as much.
Yeah,
because 18 million is it's good for a 4 or 5 million film, but it's not not like
it's not
crazy money.
Yeah, no, not sequel worthy or anything.
100, 200 mil or something.
And then also it might have done poorly on streaming and
I bet
DVD.
It did.
Yeah,
I bet it did.
Once word of mouth got out.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's one that in years, I'm not saying it will go on to become a cult classic, but it might get a bit of a fan base.
Yeah.
But also, I think it might age badly.
Yeah.
Because
I think certainly. Yeah.
Because it hasn't yet for a film. It's only six years old now. But 10, 15 years down the road, it would have probably aged more than the original.
Yeah.
Which is
very odd, isn't it?
It is. But also because technology is rapidly changing.
Yes.
It will. And little things like, they refer to messaging as DMing. I've never heard anyone in my actual life refer
I'm sure
to
there are some people that do, but
for-
I don't think it's just the norm.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
That's a little fun.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to point out again, one more time, clarify this. The problems with this film are not the themes.
No.
I know that a hell of a lot of people, I'm sure, would have hated on this movie because it's just women moaning at men. That isn't the problem with the film.
No.
One bit of it. It's just poorly written, poorly told. Right? That's what people should be complaining about, not about the fact that it's about, women being exploited and harmed at schools. Right?
Yeah. But also, so for a Blumhouse film, is it as badly written and stuff as? I mean, it's not there's a lot of, I say, watchable good Blumhouse films that I'm a fan of, but I'm sure I've seen worse Blumhouse films than this.
Probably. I don't know how many I've seen. To be
Yeah.
perfectly honest, I don't really watch many.
Yeah,
I know you probably.
I do, but I can't, because there's a lot come out.
Yeah.
I can't think what's what. But I've definitely seen worse ones than this.
Do they do Insidious and stuff like that? Blumhouse?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, those are big movies.
Yeah.
Like really big.
But there was one recently, like The Woman in the Yard, or Lady in the Yard, something like that.
Never heard of that.
So, this is definitely lower bar Blumhouse, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I wouldn't say it's the worst.
Right.
Um,
Could you say which is the worst?
I was just going to see if I can get a list of the films. Here we go.
But there'll be hundreds of them at this point.
Do you reckon?
What? They've got to have released hundreds of films. Surely they've been around a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
and they churn them out. Like, how many a year do you reckon they do?
2 or 3, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
But they've done
I was thinking.
Yeah,
more
but they've done the Paranormal Activity was the big one.
Oh yeah.
That got them going.
Yeah.
And then they
that was 20 years ago.
Paranormal Activity. Well, 16 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
2009.
Oh god.
So
I thought it was earlier than
then
that.
they've done the Insidious movies.
Yeah.
Sinister.
Yeah.
Things like
these
The
are
Bay,
big
Dark Sky.
films.
Yeah. Lord of Salem. That was Rob Zombie, wasn't it? Done that.
Yeah.
Pulse. Loads.
Yeah.
Literally.
But these are big. These are bigger budgeted films than this.
I mean, they done Ouija, one about the Ouija board.
Yeah.
I'd say this is on par with that.
Right. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but then that's a weird one because they done that and then they done a prequel set in the 60s, which was a lot better.
Right.
In my humble opinion.
I think I heard about that. Ouija board films should be set in the past, shouldn't it? Because Ouija boards are, you think of the 70s, don't you? I think I do anyway. Think of past decades.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, here's one that is a lot worse.
Yeah.
Amityville: The Awakening.
Okay.
I watched that recently.
That was bad, was it?
Very bad. But yeah, you're right. They've done more than I thought they have, but they've had some really big hits.
Yeah, massive.
Obviously,
Huge
The Purge, Unfriended was a big hit.
Oh, that wasn't good.
That wasn't good. Yeah, that wasn't good. Then obviously they've done the Jordan Peele films, Us and Get Out.
All right.
Ma wasn't good. They've done that. So they've done a lot.
Yeah.
And it is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And more Fantasy Island. No, that was bad. So maybe it's their remakes that bad.
I mean, from the sounds of things, I mean, they're not really for me, those horror movies.
Yeah.
But those ones you mentioned. But I do see that they are better made films than this one.
Yeah. But yeah, been proper churning them out, and there has been some flops because you've got Exorcist the Believer that done very poorly.
Don't know that one.
The latest Exorcist film.
Oh, Exorcist, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen it, and I don't know anything about it.
I thought it was fine, but it done really badly. Wolfman done badly recently, but then mega hits like Five Nights at Freddy's. So they're literally every other horror film that's come out in the last few years have been them.
Well, that's it. They are the guys that make the horror film. You know, the standard, like you say, popcorn movies, switch your brain off type movie. I mean, the themes in this film are not themes of switch your brain off.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So they've kind of
That's what I mean with that balance is a bit wrong.
They've made a mistake here, I think, in trying to put very serious subject matters into a film that shouldn't necessarily have them. Or if you're going to have them, do them in the way that they did in the original film.
Yeah, I think it needed weirdly to take itself a bit more seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did not believe any of it.
No.
So, yeah.
What did you think of the cast?
Mostly awful. Not generally acted pretty poorly. I think they all probably could do much better. I'm sure they all could be in stuff that is just
There's a lot of familiar faces in this.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Pooch, isn't it?
Imogen Pooch.
Yeah, she's proven herself. She can be really good. I think she was all right, and I think she was fine in this.
Yeah. Probably the best person in it.
But you've got Kerry Elvis, as I said, he's just doing his thing,
and I've never really rated him anyway.
And I think he's good in spoofs and comedies.
Yeah,
and he's fine in Saw. But with this and his character, that should have been a red herring, but it wasn't.
No.
I've spoiled some there, but
yeah,
it's not a big spoiler because, like I say, it's.
I think it's very much set up that you know who the killers are.
Yeah,
because it's not just a person doing it.
It's a slightly below average, I'd say. I wouldn't say it's. I didn't think it was terrible because I think it had some good themes and ideas, but as we keep saying, wasn't executed great.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But
on the technical point though, most of it for me just not made very well. Lots of giveaways. Shot choices are boring, standard, bland. I just very little for me just to go. Nothing awful. Again though, awful might have been a bit more interesting. Like if it was made really poorly, like really poorly.
Troll 2.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of like TV. It just looked like boring television.
I get the impression it was made quite quickly.
Without doubt. Probably done in a couple of weeks, I would have thought.
And possibly, the name Black Christmas would sell. And it's going to be a forgotten movie.
It hasn't even got a release now here, which is crazy.
I'm surprised actually coming up to Christmas as well that a streaming service hasn't picked it up.
Yeah,
we've of course got Silent Night Deadly Night remake coming out this Christmas, and Violent Night a couple of years ago. These films should spark interest in Christmas horrors. But this one, I think maybe it's...
Well, when it came out 6 years ago, it probably did a bit, right, obviously, but...
I just think the backlash of it, people just don't care. But we do, and we watched it and gave it a go.
Absolutely.
And, I don't regret buying the Blu-ray. It cost me £4.
Well, there you go. So that's fine.
Yeah, and
I certainly would not discourage people from watching this film. You go give it a watch. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
You know what I'd say though? If you've not seen either, watch this one first.
Yeah.
Just because the first one is so much better, and you might as well lead into it.
Oh, okay.
And this is the thing. I think fans of the original, hardcore fans of the original, who are older than us, are not going to care for this film.
No.
And as you say, the reasons to dislike it aren't the reasons that people are saying it's bad.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, that's the way people look at things now. A lot of people, not everyone,
a
lot of people don't like progression and that sort of thing. And this film's trying that, and I don't criticise it for that. No. I personally,
I just want people to write things better.
Yeah.
Please tell better stories, people. Please.
Yeah. And make them gorier. Better, gorier stories. So on that bombshell, to be fair, I've enjoyed rewatching it. It's been a fun little morning. We've done, and nice to do a Christmas special.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, and we'll hopefully get you back on next year for something. Are you going to do one of the? Are you up for one of the Friday 13th with me?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them, aren't there?
There are. I'm going to try to slowly do that throughout the year. But you are coming back for Critters 4. Yeah. That's been, for listeners, that's been a bit delayed. The second episode was supposed to happen. And my guest who is going to come on, just up and come up so you can do it. Yeah. So that's been pushed to next year. And that's one of the reasons why I've started the Tomie movies with Adam Wybray.
Oh, yeah.
Which is going to be interesting because this is hard to get hold of. God, some of them sequels are harder. But we're going to try to do it throughout time.
A lot of them as well.
There's 9 apparently.
Yeah.
We might not even be able to do them all, but we're going to try. And then there's 4 Critters films, and we're going to do some remakes and comparisons and that sort of thing. Just going to do episodes when I can throughout the next rest of my life, really, hopefully. So we'll see. But thank you very much.
Many years to come.
Yeah.
Many years.
Yes. So thank you all very much for listening, and have a very, very, very merry festive season.
I'm Jem.
And I'm Victoria.
And we are childhood best friends with a true crime podcast called
The Criminal Crack. During each episode, one of us presents a true crime case to the other.
And the listener has no idea what the case will be.
So every reaction, question and twisted theory you hear is genuine and off the cuff.
So join us fortnightly on the platform of your choice.
And find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok by searching at The Criminal Crack.
Bye-bye!
Keep on trucking!
In 1974, Black Christmas hit cinemas. The movie was a hit, and although not as recognised as the likes of Halloween, Friday the 13th, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was a hugely influential movie, helping shape. At least I didn't swear.